Dr. Stephen Keating 3D printed a copy of his skull and brain with very fine detail. And he had a good reason. He had a tumor the size of a baseball in his brain. When Keating was a student at MIT, he was interested to see what his brain looked like before the tumor was removed. He thought that it would help him understand his treatment options, so he took his MRI and CT scans and started 3D printing. But there was a problem. The images are so detailed that they need to be converted into surface meshes in order to be printed. There are two ways to do this. The first is a process called segmentation, where a radiologist manually traces every single slice. That could be up to 320 slices, and a lot of time spent tracing. Like that semester I spent as an art major. I have no talent. The other method is called automatic thresholding, and it is faster, but it often removes critical details. Even though the scans have various grades of gray, it changes them to solid black or solid white pixels. Keating and his team of collaborators from MIT, Harvard's Wyss Institute, and Stratasys found a way to print these scans with dithered bitmaps. Basically, shades of gray. It's similar to the way newspapers print images. Instead of various shades of gray, it sees the images of a mix of black and white pixels. It seems simple, but the method cut a workload that could take, for example, 30 hours and do it in less than an hour. That time also translates to costs that were, until now, very prohibitive. The hope is that 3D printing can become a more viable tool for routine exams, diagnoses, as well as patient education and understanding of the human body. The researchers predict that within 5 years, it could be common for patients to receive a 3D printed anatomical model to help discuss treatment plans. Cocaine-fueled prostitute bin. Mon Kamai Automotive has made an electric motorcycle that can reach speeds of 155 miles per hour and has a range of more than 300 miles. It's impressive given that most electric bikes do about half that in terms of range. According to the Indian manufacturer, the bike will have a 40 kilowatt, 8,000 RPM electric motor. The company hopes to jumpstart marketing efforts with an Indiegogo campaign that is set to go live on the crowdfunding site on July 1st. So you could help fund it, or you could help fund the owners in a cocaine-fueled prostitute binge. I mean, we all remember Scully, which burned about 2,000 backers who never saw their investment come to fruition, but I'm sure this one's different. You know, they seem legit. The company is promoting an 18.4 kilowatt battery pack that weighs about 176 pounds, almost half of the total 396 pounds. Not bad for something that looks like it's straight out of the Lego Ninjago movie. Also, that's how you really say that, Ninjago. According to a report from New Atlas, Mon Kamai is looking to charge about $13,000 for the top EP1 variant, but the base model is going to start around $8,500. However, the base model is also going to have about 2/3 of the range. Again, this is all contingent on first a crowdfunding campaign if you want to get in on the ground level, but then you have to wait for this concept to become a prototype and then eventually manufactured, which the company thinks it can do within 4 years. Not bad, as long as they don't blow it on hookers and blow. I'm watching you. Cocaine-fueled prostitute bin. This week, Virgin Galactic and the spaceship company returned to the Mojave Desert in California for the VSS Unity's second supersonic rocket-powered test flight. The tourism spaceship, after it was released from White Knight 2, fired its motor for 31 seconds and reached an altitude of 114,000 feet and speeds of Mach 1.9 or about 1,400 miles per hour before it glided to a landing at Mojave Air and Spaceport. The company still has a ways to go if you're going to actually offer space tourism, as space starts at 264,000 feet, well, according to the US Air Force. The landing is also significant as it used the plane's re-entry feathering system, which prematurely deployed in 2014 during a fatal test flight. The feathering system works so that the spacecraft kind of drifts down to Earth like a badminton shuttlecock before it glides to a stop. What is significant is that the test came less than 2 months after the first flight held April 5th. The quick turnaround, to which Virgin credits the maintenance and engineering staffs, will help the company come closer to its goal of regularly flying the VSS for deep-pocketed space tourists. For this flight, the vehicle carried passenger seats and related equipment, and the passenger seats might soon be filled. According to Richard Branson, the company's founder, the spacecraft could reach the 264,000 threshold in 2 to 3 flights. He also plans to be the first passenger, so those maintenance and engineering staffs better make sure they get everything right. I'm David Manti. This is Engineering by Design.